Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And yesterday a pretty worrying article came out from the Sports Business Journal with regards to the future of the CDL. One of the head guys at Activision talking about that not only are they cutting 50 jobs in their esports divisions across the OWL and the CDL, the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League, of course, but also the return to LAN does not necessarily seem to be a priority. LANs are coming back, but in the future, in future seasons, online may still play a significant part of the Call of Duty League rotation, and that is certainly not something we were looking to see. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, just thought I'd mention this bit of drama at the title that went down a couple of days ago. Bake was doing his podcast with Jacob and asking if he had any questions. Bless says, why is your nose so massive? And Jacob says, why were you so bad at COD? You had to become a full-time Warzone player, which is what happened to Bless. He kind of retired earlier this season. Alright, dude, not cool. I would throw inside wrong side of history, lol. So yeah, a bit of spice, I suppose, on the timeline to start us off today. But this is what COD Gamepedia talked about yesterday. Activision Blizzard Esports are laying off around 50 staff members today. First of all, this can't be a good thing, right? In terms of esports staff, 50 staff members gone. Like, what does this mean for the future, right? Does it mean that they're, well, trying to scale down their operations to some degree? Well, it's certainly something which isn't ideal. This article from the Sports Business Journal suggests the company may be restructuring to have online gaming play a more significant part of the CDL and the OWL in the future, even after the pandemic concludes. This is what was said in the article. Let's look at it in a little bit more detail. First of all, just wanted to look at a couple of individuals that have been released from the CDL. This is especially from Bowman right here. Nothing but love to the CDL family. It's been an absolute honor to contribute where I could over the last 8 years. To the players and community, you've got a passionate group there in your corner. On to the next thing. Now, I don't really know too much about the behind the scenes stuff, but you certainly can tell from some of the replies to this. We've got Bryce, we've got Clay, we've got Methods. I mean, so many big names that I'll scroll through right here talking about how, you know, they're going to really miss him in the scene. The idea that he's been around for so long and definitely didn't deserve to get released in this way. I mean, look at all these guys. So, I mean, clearly, this is not a decision that people would have expected to be happening. And yeah, Bowman and some of the other, I imagine, top guys behind the scenes that people have so much respect for behind the scenes that are clearly done so much. I think even Clayster was talking on the Reddit, as he says right here, you know, how at a loss for words, you've always been a real one, you've given a ton to this product, mad respect for you, best of luck in what is never's next. And I think he said on the Reddit as well, the fact that this guy's really been one of the crucial drivers of you know, liaising between the pros and the developers and the CDL over these last several days, even back to the CWL days. So the fact that a guy like this is gone is like, okay, what's going on here? Why are we kind of ramping down our esports product when we're just starting, in theory, the ramping up of this $300 million league that we keep talking about so much? And this is certainly a discussion where we go on to talk in a second here about this whole LAN situation. So as Slasher says right here, stating its plan, so Tony Patetti, top executive over at Activision Blizzard, stating it's to plan for the future where the company is less dependent on live events, including both CDL and OWL. So here we go, let's go into things then, as Chrome points out right here. He noted the division, that's the esports division, who runs the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League, is planning for a future where its business will look different and less dependent on live events. This was the next stage of it as well. They made clear that they're not 100% moving away from live events, so LAN events will be coming back in due course. Like, we've heard rumours that Champs this year certainly is going to be on LAN. I was hoping that Major 4, Major 5 would also be able to be on LAN in some cities around the world. But the hesitancy that he gives right here in terms of getting back to LAN is somewhat strange to me, because surely if you understand anything about the fans of your esports, getting back to LAN is effectively a #1 priority. As he says, but they're not 100% moving away from them, and on the contrary, they will look to get back to them to some extent when possible. So the hesitancy to me is kind of strange, right? Like, just say, okay, we're going back to LAN, rather than, okay, yeah, we're gonna try and get back to them to some degree when it's possible to do so. Kind of strange you would do this if you know how important this is for fans. However, OWL and CDL have changed the concept of their league from the pandemic. You know, the in-person home away events compared to sticker ball leagues now running entirely online. It's possible that online-only play could make up a significant part of OWL and CDL schedules long into the future. So certainly there is a lot to say on this. I don't necessarily want to overreact to this stuff initially, because the fact of the matter is this is like not an official press release from Activision. The direction they take, the discussion behind the scenes may be somewhat different between what their actual plans are and what this guy's having to say in this interview, but it's still not the ideal sign. And if I was a franchise team, if I was a franchise owner, if I was a player, I would not necessarily be happy about this direction. Now, my understanding, I imagine it is that the majors, I'm sure they certainly want to do that on LAN. That's where a lot of the monetization potential comes from the teams as well. The idea that you can like sell the sponsors for the actual LAN, you sell the tickets to the stadium, all this type of stuff. That is something they certainly want to do. Maybe what they're saying, what they're thinking is that this whole group play situation and the current format that they run under just works better online than it does on LAN, right? Because in the past, the Pro League would be done at the MLG studios in Columbus, Ohio, and right now, the idea that all the teams have to fly out to whatever location they're going to do it at for 4 days out of the 7 of the week, and then they'll have to come back next week for the 4 days out of the 7, and then next week for the 4 days out of the 7, and then the week after that, then fly to an actual major at some sort of major city around the world, then may not be feasible to do so. It may actually be easier for them to go down a similar route to what they do right now, with all the teams having effectively their own facilities, just playing the group play matches from there, and then actually go to a major at a LAN event. That's what I would kind of, well, hopefully that's the case. And as a fan of the game, is that really such a big deal? Because at the end of the day, the group play matches, effectively the normal Pro League matches which went on in World War II and the like, in a LAN environment, they were never played in front of fans, right? Fans would never go to the group play matches, they would just watch online, but it would still be on LAN, so you get a bit more trash talk, and obviously competitive integrity is a key factor, but it wouldn't change too much for fans in the sense that as long as all the majors are still going to be on LAN, as I imagine they will be, like surely that's what they're planning to do into the rest of this season when they can, and into 2022 and beyond, but maybe just the group play stuff will be done online in a similar way to in Black Ops 3 in the CWL, the Black Ops 3 online league matches were done online, and then we went to the LAN events for the Stage 1 major and all that type of stuff. But I do find it kind of strange that we've gone down this whole franchise route. We've got these teams tied to the cities, but now how many LAN events are we actually holding in these cities? You know, what's even the point then being tied to a city if we're just going to be playing online a lot of the time anyway? So it's certainly an interesting move, and the players, I'm sure, are not very happy about this one, right? Because at the end of the day, if in an ideal world, they want to be playing all these matches on LAN, the inconsistencies that can happen online are not ideal. We always talk about the disconnections and the ping issues and all this type of stuff. If I was a player, I'd be like, you know, are you kidding me, right? We played all this money to get into the league, and now we're potentially still going to be playing these group play matches long into the future in an online environment. As Octane says, I must have misread this tweet. Surely it doesn't say we're going to be more focused on online tournaments, right? After all the stuff that's happened this year, I'm not even a little bit surprised anymore. Pocketing the extra cash, says Macat, from franchise installments and running a B-Tech bobblehead cast a green screen stream every single time long into the future. As Doug says as well, if Call of Duty is shifting to less LAN events and more online events to save money, which is effectively why you would imagine this would be, right? They're laying off all this staff. They're saying, okay, maybe it's cheaper for us to just do it online, therefore let's just do so. And if we get too much backlash from the teams and the players, then okay, maybe we have to change our mind. But for now, this is kind of what the plan is. And we'll have to see how much backlash maybe this gets from behind the scenes, because I'm sure the players aren't very happy about it, right? If I was a player, I wouldn't be very happy. If I was a team owner, I'm not sure I'd be very happy either. To continue with what Doug says, though, we need to have an anti-cheat. It's incredibly difficult competing on a day-to-day basis when you're loading up in tourneys and players are literally hacking every single weekend, which, well, supposedly it's going to be an issue long into the future, and it just does kind of blow the mind why this kind of stuff doesn't get dealt with sooner. As Macat says, as a spectator, COD cannot stay online or have a large part of its season online. It'll never be the same, and especially after hundreds of millions invested, no real excuse when restrictions are loosened. No way after all that money that the CWL is still better than the CDL all these years later. So yeah, very much frustrations on the timeline. Panda says as well, 20Hz servers, you know, questionable dev support, game is still catered to casuals. LAN is the only thing that's great. It'd be a shame for that to go away indefinitely. I'm sure LAN will be back in some form, hopefully later this season with any luck, but still not the most ideal of things to be reading through last night. As Defrag says, this can't be real life. It is a completely different game in a LAN environment. Realize how much money they can save. Competitive integrity, though, completely out the window for the players. But as I say, for the fans, maybe it doesn't really change too much. Couple of interesting things to finish off the video. This from DiamondCon. If you guys have been following much about NFTs lately, these are non-fungible tokens, I believe they're called. In the NBA, they have these things called Top Shots right now. It's effectively like a play, but it's like a virtual play. It's like some sort of token. I don't really know how to describe what an NFT is. I'm sure there's YouTube videos that would do a much better job than, well, I could describe it right here. But the question is, are there going to be some sort of CDL NFTs? At DiamondCon, first pro esports player NFT coming soon. Collectibles coming soon. Enjoy the little preview. Highlight clips, funny moments, this type of stuff. Even the snake one he puts up on the screen here in just a second. So I'm not really sure how this is going to work. Who's even kind of orchestrating this behind the scenes? Whether the players can actually do this themselves or the teams can figure out a way to do this themselves without the CDL getting involved, it's a bit of a strange one. But certainly he drops a stay tuned for us to, well, keep an eye on this going forward. Maybe this is something the CDL could get into, because NFTs seem to be blowing up, and if they can make this work, then maybe this is something that could be done to a reasonable degree. Just to finish off the video, given the fact that this time tomorrow, the CDL will be on once again, of course, there's been some significant changes to the map set for Stage 2. Crossroads is gone, and S&D on Garrison is gone. Around 11 stats points out pretty interestingly here, wow, why is it so small? What some of the team's records look like on some of these certain maps. So, this is the hardpoint record percentage on maps that aren't Crossroads. So apparently, I think Paris Legion have played quite a lot of Crossroads, but didn't have the greatest results on it. And you can see that a team like Los Angeles Guerrillas as well, they're really not great in hardpoint when you don't consider the fact that they're actually pretty damn good on a Crossroads. So Crossroads is gone. This is what the win-loss look in hardpoint outside of Crossroads. And actually, Legion is number one here, so fair play to them. And you can see the rest of the teams right here, pretty balanced across the board, all things considered. It's pretty tough to be super good at hardpoint. And then this is in terms of the Search and Destroy. We've got the Search and Destroy without Garrison. So poor Royal Ravens, the only map they managed to win, I think, in Search, well, clearly it is the Garrison Search and Destroy. Now that is gone, and these are the records without Garrison in the meta right now. So it is pretty interesting to see how some teams benefit significantly from this map set change, and some teams more than likely do not. We'll have to see how everything plays out in just a couple of days' time. But intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.